Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm Jerry Compitello, the Town of Babylon Town Clerk. On behalf of Supervisor Schaefer, Councilman Mineta, Martinez, McSweeney, and Gregory, and our Receiver of Taxes, Jen Montiglio, welcome to the Town of Babylon. Today I'm joined by Rob Labiento, our Director of Health and Wellness, who's just going to say a few quick words.
Thank you, Jerry. Can everyone hear me? Hey everybody, my name is Rob Labiento. I'm the Health and Wellness Director for the Town of Babylon. And first and foremost, I just want to thank all of the breast cancer and ovarian cancer survivors that are here today with their friends and family, showing support, education, taking an active role in their health, not only just their health, but our health too as a community. And when we created the program for the Health and Wellness Department, we really wanted to emulate those values, and we settled on 4 really core pillars of physical fitness, mental health, nutritional support, and medical attention. And I think we really echo what Pink by the Bay does very well with those, and we really look to use that support, education, and being an active participant in our health. And I'm really happy to be here at this event today. Very honored. We're honored to be here as well. These events are great because they're community-based. They show how important it is to combine all of those really core values. And we just want to say thanks so much for being here and being a part of this program. Thank you so much.
And we're also joined by Councilman Terrence McSweeney. The Pink by the Bay program began as a collaboration between Northwell Health at the towns of Babylon and Islip to kick off Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The history of Breast Cancer Awareness Month began in 1985 as a week-long campaign and has grown into a month-long event that raises awareness around the world. Northwell Health Pink by the Bay has brought this to a new level. This year, Pink by the Bay shines a light on teal. You will notice not just pink ribbons and lights, but teal ribbons and lights everywhere. I love it. Thank you, Nicole. Cancer screenings can be done year-round, not just October. Please stop looking at signs and symptoms online. Call your doctor, get checked, get screened. Early detection saves lives. Talk to your sisters, mothers, aunts, grandmothers, friends. Nag them, harass them, and badger them to get screened. Early detection saves lives. Also today we are honored to have Dr. Fidel Valea, the Chief Gynecological Oncologist at Northwell Health, is here to speak. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's truly my pleasure and honor to be here to discuss raising awareness for women's cancer. And I work on the GYN oncology side of things, which is going to raise awareness for ovarian cancer. But we here as a combined effort between pink and teal, which I guess to put it together, what would make purple? I don't know. I should look that up. Anyway, because breast cancer is just so common and ovarian cancer is not common. But what we've learned with breast cancer is raising awareness leads to better results. And that's what I hope to talk about today briefly. The two cancers work together. Patients that have breast cancer are at higher risk of developing ovarian cancer and vice versa. We now know so much more about both of these diseases and know that there is a strong genetic link. And so women that have one or the other should evaluate their genetic analysis, should undergo genetic testing to evaluate their risk, because clearly there are patients that would benefit from further investigation. When we talk about ovarian cancer, Barbara Goff, a colleague of mine at the University of Seattle Hutchinson Cancer Center, coined the term, it is the disease that whispers, because it used to be called the silent disease. But it's not. And if you look at patients with ovarian cancer, they actually have had symptoms for quite a long time. The problem is the symptoms are vague. They can be bloating, some indigestion, change in bowel habits or change in urinary habits, pain. These are the more common ones. And they tend to be pushed off. So raising awareness is important, especially if you have people in your family with either of those two malignancies. It's really important to see a provider. Unlike breast cancer, where we have a great screening test like mammography, combining it with ultrasound and now MRI, we don't have the same great screening tests in ovarian cancer. However, when we identify patients at higher risk, we apply the 2 screening tests that we have to that population, because those tests perform better in a very high-risk population. They just don't work that well in a low-risk population. And that is the CA-125 blood test and a pelvic ultrasound. If I leave you with anything today, is be aware of your body, be aware of your symptoms, and if you have any concerns, please raise those concerns with your healthcare provider so they can be addressed. Thank you once again, and I really appreciate the opportunity to pal up with our breast cancer colleagues and truly sponsor a combined event. It's about time we did that. Thank you.
Now I would like to introduce Serena Kindler. She is an ovarian cancer survivor.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Serena Kindler, and I am a 7-year stage 1 ovarian cancer survivor. Yeah! I grew up in Brooklyn, and I met my husband on the beach when I was 13 years old, and he was 15. We have 3 children, and I have been together for over 45 years. My oldest is a registered oncology nurse and helps as a caregiver for me. I worked as a special education teacher for over 30 years and currently employed as a disabilities consultant. During my spare time, I enjoy tap dancing and performing with 2 senior dance teams. I continue to share my story and provide hope to women diagnosed with ovarian cancer as a facilitator and mentor with the National Ovarian Cancer Coalition. The best defense in fighting this disease is knowing the signs and symptoms: persistent bloating, pelvic and back pain, and discomfort, loss of appetite and feeling full quickly, persistent low energy, and changes in bladder and bowel movements. As women, usually underestimate these symptoms and brush it off as something else. But if you learn anything from me today, it is if something doesn't feel right, put yourself first and see your doctor. Ovarian cancer whispers a storm is coming, but the warrior in me whispers back, I am the storm. I am the warrior. Its whispering needs to be heard. There are no reliable screening options available for ovarian cancer. Don't ignore any symptom, no matter how vague. Listen to your body, and that is what I did. Awareness and education is key. My story started in July of 2016. A cyst was found on my ovary, but the doctor totally ignored it. And he said there was nothing to worry about. I didn't like his answer and advocated for myself to see him every few months if there was a change in the size of the cyst. Well, there was. And in February of 2017, he said, okay, let's do surgery to remove your ovaries. I asked, what if it's cancer? He said not to worry. I will call in another surgeon to remove it. Well, I didn't. So 2 months later, I did have surgery to remove my ovaries and fallopian tubes performed by a gynecological surgeon, Northwell Health, who first said the surgery would only last an hour. It lasted 5 hours, removing the huge cyst that was wrapped around my organs. Recovery was painful, but it wasn't as difficult as hearing those 3 simple words that hold so much weight and so much fear. You have cancer. I thought to myself, I have cancer? This can't be true, but it sadly was. My world was turned upside down. I didn't want cancer to define me or bring an end to my story. There is hope, and there is life after cancer, and I wasn't going to let cancer stop me. This is a reminder that as fast as life can change, we can quickly shed the bad and grow with new and added strength and motivation. This determination guided me through my journey where I had a radical hysterectomy 1 month after my initial surgery to remove any cancer that may have been left behind. 1 month later, I had my first round of chemotherapy of 6 treatments. It might seem strange, but as I look back on photos of that time, of those tough days, I realized I never stopped smiling. I never gave up hope. I kept on pushing forward. I continued to fight and never looked back, even when I lost all my hair, because bald is really beautiful, and I pretty much rock that look. Tomorrow, October 2nd, will be 7 years, which I thought was my last treatment. I was diagnosed with a reoccurrence of ovarian cancer back in February of this year. Truth be told, I was in a bit of denial and scared. Back in my mind, I always had a fear of the cancer, and unfortunately, it returned. I had surgery in April and began 12 rounds of chemotherapy. August 5th was my last chemotherapy treatment, and I not only rang that bell with hope and joy, but I skipped through the office, never looking back. If there is one thing to learn from me, is to be an advocate for yourself. If something doesn't feel right, go to the doctor. Thankfully, I did. And thank you to the Northwell Health doctors and nurses who saved my life. In the end, it is not what I have been through that defines who I am. It is how I got through it that has made me the person who I am today and the person I am capable of being tomorrow. This is not the end. It's a beginning. It's a beginning of tomorrows for finding cures and bringing awareness to all cancers, to that one day where no one will ever hear those 3 simple words again. Ovarian cancer affects women of all ages, even teens and children. It is commonly found in older women that are postmenopausal, but I know several young women that have been affected by this disease. Listen to your bodies. Take notes of signs and symptoms and then share. Speak up and let your voices be heard. Thank you. Thank you.
Sandra Correa Tiernan, a breast cancer survivor.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. I was diagnosed with breast cancer 25 years ago. I was premenopausal, but again, it was through checkups and being aware. I went for my annual mammograms, and I went for my first mammogram when I was 35 years old. So I had a baseline. And then at the age of 40, I went for a second mammogram in my life. And they found something. I had just had a baby, so nothing could be done at that time. So after the baby was born, I went for follow-up, and lo and behold, I had cancer. So I underwent a lumpectomy, 4 rounds of chemotherapy and radiation. And every year from that time on, I was diligent with my health. Annual checkups, I went for my annual mammograms, I saw my doctors regularly. And I thought I was out of the woods. 25 years later, guess what happened again? I was re-diagnosed. Breast cancer in the same breast that I had cancer 25 years earlier. The difference, though, is the difference in healthcare today. The day before, I'm also a respiratory therapist at Huntington Hospital, Northwell. So I'm also a Northwell employee. So the benefits that we have at Northwell allows us to move our checkups. But the day before, they also were at the hospital giving out information. And the Katz Institute was there, and they gave out a card saying, "We are here for you." So that the following morning, I get a phone call and I get my diagnosis. And I'm looking at that card that was on my coffee table, and I pick up the phone and I called Northwell. The nurse navigator talked me through everything that I needed to do. They got me a checkup. Within 24 hours, I saw a surgeon. I had an assigned nurse that helped me navigate. She was my navigator. So throughout my whole care that I had, I underwent a double mastectomy and a deep flap reconstruction through Northwell. And then, so after that, I did not require chemo and radiation because I had had it 25 years prior. So my recovery was very easy compared to some other women, other than physical therapy. Within 6 weeks, I was put through physical therapy through STARS. I also had a home healthcare nurse coming in and checking on me during the time of my recovery of surgery. The best thing that I can say is that Northwell helped me every step of the way. Totally different care today, and if it wasn't for our self-awareness and our checkups, it's important that women stand up for themselves and check everything every year for what we need for our own health. Thank you.
And now we're going to have a poem read by Stephanie Taylor.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Stephanie Taylor from the National Ovarian Cancer Coalition. And first, I just want to say to Northwell Health, we want to thank you so much for including those families and individuals impacted by ovarian cancer into your Pink by the Bay campaign, which now shines a light on teal. And we are forever grateful for that inclusion. Today we come together to honor the profound connection between breast and ovarian cancer, bound by the shared journey of strength and resilience. As we pass this torch of love, light, and empowerment, we are passing forward the hope that sustains us. This torch carries the spirit of every individual who has faced ovarian cancer, joining hands with those who walk the path of both. Together we extend it to our dear friends in pink, united by our common fight. In passing this torch, we declare that we stand as one. We are not alone in this journey, and our collective power knows no limits. We will not give up. We will not give in, because together we are unbreakable. To all pink thrivers, the month of October is yours to shine. Together, we will continue to stand and fight for a future where hope leads the way and cures are within our reach. Thank you so much for being with us.
Good morning. My name is Andy Whitman. I'm the tax receiver for the town of Islip. Please be gentle. I know I'm in Babylon. It's okay. Jen gave me permission today to come here. Glad to be here today. This is an event that's put on every year in conjunction with the town of Islip and the town of Babylon. So thank you to my counterparts in Babylon for having us here. How about these speakers, right? We live in a world where we're connected to the news daily on our phones, on our tablets, in a different world than I grew up when I was a kid in the 80s, when we only got the news at different times. But, I wish the stories that you guys shared today, our society could hear that vim and vigor and that fight that came with it, because we're a month and a half away from an election, and that seems to consume ourselves daily. But the the daily lives of every single person that's out there and the daily fights, especially those going through breast cancer, going through ovarian cancer, my sister who survived her fight with breast cancer. These are the stories that are powerful and impacting in our daily lives every single day. And these are the stories that really need to be shared every day. So on behalf of myself and my other counterparts in Islip, very happy to be here, and congratulations for your great fight. Great fight.
Like they say, fight like a girl. So I want to thank everybody for coming today. We do have a wonderful health fair over on the Great Lawn. We would love for everybody to go over there, join us, see all the great organizations that are here from the Babylon Breast Cancer Coalition on. Not just a month, this is year-round. Get yourselves checked, get screened. Make sure everybody you know gets cancer screenings throughout the year, not just the month of October. Do we have any questions for the doctor? He will be here for a little bit. We're good? All right. Can everybody come up to the steps so we can take a nice big group photo to show all the support that we have from all the amazing organizations? Nicole, come on up, everybody. Yep. So thank you all again for coming.